Hi everyone, so this is Mrs. Gaede, and I'm going to go through your first at-home independent lesson. And what I'd like you to do is, while you're watching the video and the slides, I'd like you to copy the notes that you're looking at into your own notes. Try to understand as best as you can. If you're having some problems, the next time you're in class with me, I will be able to go through any questions that you have. There are some questions at the end of the slides that I would like you to try to complete, and you're going to take a photo of your work and you're going to submit it on this post. All right, so we're going to go through two topics. The first one is exponents, and then I'm going to go through integers a little bit. Some of this should be review from elementary school, grade 8, depending on, I guess, what your teacher had taught. But both these topics are in the grade 8 curriculum. So the first one is exponents. And all right, so we've got 2 to the exponent of 8. Okay, so what that means is that the big number at the bottom is called a base, and the little number is called the exponent, and it tells you the number of factors. So it tells you how many 2's you're going to multiply together. So this, if you were going to expand it out, would be 2 times 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 2. So 8 2's multiplied together, and the whole thing together is called the base. And so how do you read this? All right, so it can be read as 2 to the exponent of 8, 2 to the 8th power, or 2 to the 8th. What it cannot be read as is 2 to the power of 8, right? Because the 8 is not the power. The whole thing is called the power. So you can't say 2 to the power of 8. You also can't say 2 small 8, and you can't say 2 times 8, okay? None of those are true. All right, so some examples. Write as a single power. All right, so here you're going to count the number of 3s. There's just 5 of them. So you're going to write it as 2 to the exponent of 5. Second example, how do you expand? There are 3 4s. So you write this as 4 times 4 times 4. And if I'm going too fast, you can stop the video anytime and get caught up on your writing. Evaluate. So what is the difference between having a bracket around a -4 as opposed to no bracket, as opposed to having the negative out front, okay, in front of the bracket? So for the first one, since the 2 is outside the bracket, that means the entire thing inside the bracket is going to be multiplied by itself. All right, so this says -4 times -4, which is positive 16. If you're multiplying 2 negatives, you're going to end up with a positive, right? If the signs are the same, the answer is positive. If the signs are opposite, the sign will be negative. What if you don't have a bracket? All right, if you don't have a bracket, it means that you're not squaring -4. You're only squaring what is directly below the 2, and that's a 4. Okay, that there's only one negative sign, and then you're squaring the 4. So it's negative, and then 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16 with one negative sign in the front. And the last one is one negative sign, and then you square the 4 that is directly below the 2. Okay, so negative, and then again, you're squaring the 4, which is 16, so that will also give you -16. Next example, write the number as a power of 3. All right, so that means that it will have the base of 3, okay, and then some kind of an exponent. And the answer has to be 9. All right, so 3 times 3 is 9. So this is how you would write as a power of 3. 81. So 3 to some kind of exponent will be 81. So 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. So there are 4 3's that we had to write down to get to 81. Next example. The square root of a number is a second number that when multiplied by itself equals the original number, right? So square root of 36 means what number do you multiply by itself to give you 36? And that number is 6, right? Square root of 121. If you multiply 11 times 11, you get 121. So square root of 121 would be 11. Okay, some integer questions now. Okay, so how do you figure out what 7 plus -5 is? All right, first thing you want to do is you want to pay attention to the multiplying and dividing rule, okay, which says that if you have two signs next to each other and they're the same, you can change it to a positive sign. If you have two signs that are next to each other that are opposite, you can change it to a negative. So this example here, I'll just circle it for you. This example here, you have a positive and a negative next to each other. Those are opposite signs. So you can change that to one negative sign, right? In this example here, you have a negative next to another negative. Those are the same signs. And it says to change it to a positive. Because really what you want when you're adding and subtracting integers is just to have two numbers and each of them have a sign in the front, just one direct sign, right? The 7 has a positive in front of it. And now the 5 has a negative in front of it. So this is the same thing as positive 7 subtract 5. All right, so using the number line for that, if there's a positive sign in front of a number, you're moving to the right direction. If there's a negative in the front, you're moving to the left direction. So this essentially says move to the right 7. So starting at 0, we're going to move to the right to 7. Okay, and then if there's a negative, you need to change direction and go on the opposite side. So now you're going to go back 5 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you end up at positive 2. Okay, we know that 7 minus 5 is 2. This one here, negative 3 plus 7. All right, so you're going to start at negative 3, which is right here. Or sorry, you're going to start at 0 and go down to negative 3, right? Because negative means you're going to go to the left. So this says left 3 and then right 7. So then you change direction, you go to the other direction 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you end up at 4. Okay, so that's your answer. And the last one, negative 2 plus 6. So starting at 0, you're going to go left 2. And now plus 6 means to go to the right. So now go right 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you end up at positive 4 again. Okay, so that's the easiest way to do integers. If you were taught to do integers through a different method and it works for you, you're getting the right answers, by all means continue using that method. You don't have to use my method. All I care is that you understand what you're doing and you are getting the correct answer. So any method is fine. Okay, here's another one. These ones are multiplying integers. So we have negative 4 multiplied by negative 6. So you look at the signs. If the signs are the same, the answer will be positive. If they're opposite, this one's negative, this one's positive, the answer will be negative. Okay, I've got the rules written down here again. All right, so negative 4 times negative 6 is going to be positive. 4 times 6 is 24. 5 times 8 is 40, and it's negative. Here we've got two opposite signs, so our answer has to be negative. 36 divided by 6 is 6. And then the last one, 48 divided by 4 is not 6. I had the wrong answer there, so I just changed it. 48 divided by 4 is 12. There we go. All right, so that was it for the lessons. Those are all the examples that I had for you. And homework, all right? And you are going to complete this after you've copied the note down and understood all the questions. What I'd like you to do is write each question out on a lined piece of paper and show your work if you need to, and then write the final answer. So I'll just give you an example here. If you were going to do this question here, okay, this is how I'd like you to show your work. I don't want you just writing the final answer. I'd like you to show me how you got the final answer. All right, so 2 cubed would be, you're going to write down what you're doing. So it's 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, on one line with an equal sign in the front. and then equal signs lined up. On the next line, you're going to write the answer. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So your answer is 8. I need to see this step, okay, for all the questions that you can. I think this looks okay. Expanded form. This looks good. And then there's a second page. Okay, and there are some integer questions here that I'd like you to work out for me. All right, let me know if you need some help. Send me an email by all means. We also have the study hall at the end of each day from, oh, what is it, 1:40 until 2:40, so you can hop on the computer. We might even do a Google Meet if there's a demand for that. And yeah, so let me know if you're having trouble or if you have any questions. All right, good luck.